Hello, I'm Dr. Tony, and I want to thank you for visiting my channel, and please subscribe and hit the bell. And what I want to do today is I want to review the Big Four process. This is probably, I did maybe 30 YouTubes already. I want to review it to get another better understanding because it's such a new concept. Again, let's just go through what the Big Four process is. And this may help explain a little bit more what I do because I'm still getting some questions on people don't understand what I'm doing. Okay, let's just review real quickly, and this might get some people set onto track again to understand what I'm doing. We are a four-part being. We are a spiritual being that produces a mental image, that produces an emotion, that can alter matter, paradigm shift, spontaneous healing, whatever it is that happens. Again, so when these four different vibrations all combine to one vibration, that's when you can alter the physical. So here we are. So let's just go through, what is a thought? A thought's anything. The thought is your highest form of energy. So you think of a thought. Now, when you think of that thought's going to produce a mental image. Now the mental image, there's seven aspects to the mental image. I call them energy centers. Some people call them chakras, depending on what healing art it is. Everyone has different opinions and different terms for it. But I call them energy centers. So let's go through the seven mental energy centers. The first one is I am. That's located right below the belly button, and that's called I am. I look at this as your family, how your family sees you. That's how I look at I am. The second energy center is above that, and it's I feel. The way I look at the second energy center in the mental aspect is how you see the family. I feel. So we have I am, I feel. The third aspect of it is I do. I look at the third as self-esteem. Who am I? I do what? That's how I look at this. Now, how I label them is that's how I'm labeling. Everybody does it differently, but this is what I do. This is what I feel works best and best understands the process of the Big Four, using it this way. So the third one is I do. Now the fourth one is heart, and it's I love. So the fourth one is I love. So if you're solving a problem in a situation in your life, and I love comes up, the fourth energy center, so we know it's involved with love. Where if the third one comes up, it's something about doing, what you're not doing. Now the fifth one is easy. That's voice, speak. So I speak. So when the fifth energy center comes up, that means there's a problem with you speaking. Now number 6 is the third eye. Some people call it seeing the future as far as what's predicting. So if I see comes up, it means some part of your question through the Big Four process, you don't see ahead with it. And the last one is I understand, God. The seventh one, that's God. I understand everything. So when I understand comes up, it has different meaning depending on the question. So there are the 7 mental aspects. So when you pick out the mental aspect, it's going to be one of those 7. I am, I do, I love, whatever. Okay, so now we have that mental has to produce an emotion. Now the emotion is, I use 10 emotion cards, and these ones that I use in my practice, I see them, there's hundreds of emotions. But we won't talk about it, but there's 2 basic emotions of fear and love and height. But anyway, let's go through the 10 emotional cards. So here it is, resentment, bitterness to acceptance. So now we know the emotions. So if someone had picked out something like, let's just pick a card here. I do, and they come out with this, so then we know it's I do, bitterness, resentment. We have to change that resentment and bitterness to acceptance. So we know what the mental. So that would be the mental aspect of the Big Four. And this is emotional. So here we go. This is bitterness, resentment. So another emotion that I use is anxiety and tension to effortlessness. Another one is guilt, fault, and blame to goodness. Another emotion is change shame to pride. That I could relate to the third energy field, self-esteem. Another one is heartache to love. Another one is fear, anxiety to protection. And there's a bunch here, they go on and on. So I think you're getting the general idea of what they are. So now we have the spiritual, well, this is a thought, well, that's the last one we do, but we have the mental, one of the 7, and then we have the emotion, one of the 10. So we have the mental, emotional vibrations and that we're going to blend to form a paradigm shift in you. So now, what's left? Physical. Well, the body has 12 energy centers. Some people call them meridians, and that's actually what they are. So these are the 12 meridians. So when we find the block energy system, say it's small intestine, or it could be the heart, or it could be circulation or sex, or it could be stomach, or it could be large intestine. So it could be any of these. So there are 12 meridians. And again, we go through all 12 meridians. So now, we pick the mental aspect, one of the 7. We pick the emotional aspect, one of the 10. And then we pick the physical block. Because remember, when we talk about the Big Four process, we're going from highest vibration, infinity, to physical, to matter. Because actually, this is, as the vibration's lower, we go to the physical matter. So now we know that a thought or an emotion that's not expressed through the body as an emotion, it's expressed in the body as disease. So remember that. If you have an emotion that you're not expressing through the body, that energy, their law of thermodynamics, has to be expressed. It could be expressed in the body as disease. Louise Hayes, who I use her book on a lot of my stuff, actually just used it today with one of my patients. Liver came up, a liver problem in a sense, and liver is anger. So each physical aspect has a emotion that relates to it. So we now, just say we pick the spleen. So now we have the spleen, so we know what meridian the physical is. Now we have to be more specific. Now we're going to get a specific location of where the block is. And that's when you use the 7 location cards, different colors. So you would pick a location card, let's say it's orange. So now, we now know that the block is right here in the body. So what we do is this. So now, let's just pick some cards out. I feel anger, hatred, and the block is in the spirit, is in the orange right here in the spleen. So these are your 4 cards. Now, these 4 cards represents the mental, emotional, and physical. So now the Big Four process, and again, what we do here is we're going to use the spiritual. Since it's the highest vibration, we're going to use the spiritual to pull all 4 together. So now in this case, what we will do is you would have to go through the spiritual, the meditation, because again, my meditation, I like to meditate on specific things. So here I know I'm meditating on I feel. I know that I'm meditating on anger and hatred, and I know where the physical block is. It's in the spleen, say right here. Now, so when you do this, and one thing I did forget to do when we do this, we would always have to put the sacred geometry on, because this connects you to the cards, because every card has that sacred geometry on it. In my office, when I do Zoom, I use a different instrument to connect differently. But this has to connect this way, the sacred geometry, because this connects you. So now, again, so what we would do here is you would say, I feel anger and hatred. So the person would, and again, I'm doing this quick because I don't want to go over so many minutes. So I feel forgiveness, anger. So the person would say, well, who do I have the most anger towards? So then what you will say is, as you meditate to combine the 4, you have your little saying, and again, when you purchase cards, I will help you with this. We do a free Zoom session. You would say that I feel forgiveness towards my father, whatever, because he did his best. Because he did his best. So when you go in that meditated state, you're going to sit back, feel the forgiveness of your father. And is it easy? Hell no. If it was easy, there'd be no sick people, there'd be no people out there running around in circles. But every emotion has a feeling that you have to deal with. So you would sit back and say, I forgive my father, he did his best. Now, as you're saying that, I want you to have forgiveness. Because really you're forgiving yourself. That's another YouTube. But I forgive my father, he did his best. Now, as you're doing that, I want you to visualize blackness or whatever color you want to choose, you're draining out of this block. Because we're connecting the mental, I feel, the emotion, forgiveness, to the physical block here. I'm connecting at that moment. You're having the spiritual, bring them together. You're feeling the forgiveness, and you can actually see whatever your father, you can see him just turn into white light and drain out of the body. And that's what the paradigm shift is. Because when you connect all four, you'll see a difference. Okay, so again, that's an outline of what the Big Four process is. Again, is it easy? Well, of course it's easy if you want to make it easy. It's up to you. You know, when someone says, well, I don't know if I can do this, that's not the question. The question is, do you want to do it? Anyone, you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to want to do it. Anything you can do. So I want to thank you for visiting me today. And again, today I think is April 4th, 5th. My Find Your Blocks is, I'm switching to another website as far as another carrier there. So it's not up 100% yet, but that's being redone, and it's going to be easier to work with. Okay, so findyourblocks.com is the website. Question for health@gmail.com is the email. For any questions, please email me if you have any questions. Again, thank you for visiting me today, and we'll see you again next time.